There, they've had an hour in the cleaner. I changed the fluid twice, ran it at about 60 degrees centigrade, and they look a lot different, I think you'll agree. I've blown them dry with compressed air, and now they need reassembling. I lubricate them with a bit of clean diesel when I do that. Now the needles should be just able to fall under their own weight. When they hit the bottom of the nozzle, you should just hear a teeny click. I can hear it, but you probably can't. Now this discoloured one is sticking quite a bit, so I'm going to just lap it with a little bit of silver polish. You really shouldn't do it, but it needs replacing anyway, so where's the harm? Just spin it around a bit like this, and it might just make the difference. Now, as you will have noticed, I'm trying to lap the tip at the same time. Must be doing something because it's getting stiffer. So we'll just spin it around a bit, then I'll clean it and try it again. There, it's a lot better now. It's doing just what it's supposed to do. So I'll reassemble the injectors and see what kind of a pattern we get out of it. And for reassembly, the mating surfaces of the injectors need to be really, really clean. On this one you can see that previously somebody has trapped a little bit of something just in there. Goodness knows what it was, but I'm going to scrape it off before I put the injector back together. Well, the surfaces don't only need to be clean, they need to be dry too. So we put the things together, engage the dowels, fit the cap nut, and just as the spring comes in, you lose a bit of diesel out of the bottom of the injector. Then we tighten the cap nut up. 50 foot-pounds, but I'm going to settle for FT, which of course stands for jolly tight. I'm just going to loosen the caps on the tops of the injectors so that we can get at the springs, so that when we test them we can adjust them easily if we want to. Perfect. Now this injector's popping off at 2,900, which is within spec. It's holding pressure for 10 seconds. There's a little drip, but hell, it's 50 years old. It's holding pressure at 2,500, and it's been over a minute now, so that's just fine. Now this is the discoloured one that I lapped, and it's popping at 2,900, which is just as it should do. The pressure's dropped to 2,400, but it's holding at that. And there's a little bit of dampness on the surface, but no drips. Alright, number 3. Again, popping at 2,900. 4 nice jets, just as they should be. Holding pressure at about 2,600, which is just fine. No visible drips. And this is number 4, the last one. Again, popping at 2,900, which is just where it should be. Losing pressure a bit down to, what we got there, 2,400. And holding it. Nozzle is a bit wet. I'm blowing the water out of the cylinder now. The stuff that got in there when that liner came. Now I'm going to try and put it up to top dead centre. And with a trusty welding rod in there, I've just been able to feel the thing come up to top dead centre. So I'm going to give it one final blow and call it good. There. This is the liner, which has an upper mating surface which is an interference fit, a lower mating surface which perhaps should be an interference fit, and a seating fit that will be held tight by the injector. I've made a drift, suitable drift for inserting the sleeve. In the manual it says these are a service part. Well, I don't even know whether they're still available, and I'm certainly not going to buy one. The manual suggests a bit of Loctite grade B. Well, that probably hasn't been available for 40 years. So I'm putting a wee bit of Loctite retainer around the top interference fit, a wee bit around the bottom, and for good measure I'm putting some hematite. I've put an O-ring on the injector to stop any rubbish getting down between the injector and the sleeve, and home she goes. Well, it's a similarly cold day. The tractor hasn't been started for 24 hours, so let's see how it starts with these clean injectors. What a difference! And not a great deal of smoke.